For more than 2 decades, Ben Shepherd has been one of the most comforting, steady presences on British television. His warmth, his kindness, his gentle humor, they've made him a familiar face for millions of viewers waking up each morning. So when Ben suddenly disappeared from ITV's schedule without warning, fans immediately sensed that something was wrong. What began as mild concern soon grew into something darker as rumors circulated across social media. Viewers asked the same question again and again: where is Ben Shepherd? At first, ITV released a simple explanation. Ben was taking some personal time. But longtime viewers know Ben rarely steps away from work unless it's absolutely necessary. Even during the most challenging periods of his life, he has always shown up, always kept going. But this time was different. According to new reports, Ben quietly withdrew from broadcasting after suffering a severe, unexpected neurological episode at home, an event that left both him and his family deeply shaken. It happened late one evening, after what friends describe as an overwhelmingly stressful week. Ben had been dealing with intense back and leg pain, the lingering consequences of old injuries he'd carried for years, but had been pushing through, as he always did. According to a family source, Ben suddenly felt a sharp, electric jolt of pain run down his spine, followed by numbness in his left arm and a frightening difficulty forming words. Annie, who was in the kitchen at the time, heard something crash and ran to find her husband slumped against the side of the bed, struggling to stay conscious. She immediately rang emergency services. Paramedics arrived minutes later. Annie reportedly stayed beside him the entire time, holding his face in her hands, reassuring him even as tears streamed down her cheeks. One paramedic said she kept whispering, "Stay with me, Ben. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere." Ben was rushed to hospital, where doctors began tests to rule out anything life-threatening. Though the episode resembled a neurological event, what caused it remained unclear. For Annie, those hours in the waiting room were described by a friend as the longest and most terrifying of her life. Ben was stabilized, but doctors insisted he needed urgent rest, real rest, not the few scattered days he was accustomed to taking. Behind closed doors, medical specialists warned him of something he was not prepared to hear. If he didn't slow down, the next episode could be worse, far worse. For a man who had spent his entire career prioritizing others, this warning hit him harder than any diagnosis. As the news quietly reached his ITV colleagues, they agreed to protect his privacy while he focused on recovery. But fans noticed instantly. Ben's absence is not the kind of absence one can hide. Still, Annie remained silent, until supporters began to panic. With the encouragement of close friends, she released a statement 5 days later. Ben is recovering after experiencing a sudden medical event. It was frightening, but he is in safe hands now. We are taking things one day at a time as a family. Thank you for your kindness, your patience, and the love you continue to show him. She ended her message on a line that touched thousands. He's my world, and we will face this together. Since then, Annie has been a constant presence at Ben's side, bringing him books, playing gentle music, and making sure he rests even when he insists he's ready to get back to normal. Doctors have reportedly advised several weeks of complete downtime, while ITV shuffles schedules while privately offering full support. Meanwhile, Sam and Jack, their 2 sons, are said to be handling things with surprising maturity, reminding their dad to listen to the doctors and even making him laugh with jokes about becoming his official recovery supervisors. Friends close to the couple say this health scare has shaken Ben deeply, forcing him to confront years of overwork and the silent pressure he'd placed on himself to always be strong, always be available, always be smiling. For now, he is resting, deeply, intentionally, surrounded by love, wrapped in the quiet strength of a family who refuses to let him face this alone. And as viewers wait anxiously for updates, one thing has become clear. Ben Shepherd may be the one lying in the hospital bed, but Annie is the one holding the entire family together.